Hi friends, this is your weekly update for Saturday, July 11th, 2020. So it's raining outside, so I'm going to stay in the owl barn for the video this week, but hey, at least it's raining. It's just a drizzle, but it's something. We definitely needed the rain. The farmers definitely needed the rain. We did a few different things this week. One thing we did was we took azalea cuttings. That was our famous evergreen azaleas. Those will be transferred to 4-inch pots. Then the next year they will be transferred to those 1.5-gallon pots that you see by thousands in the greenhouse. Another thing we did out in the parking lot was we tore out some old trees that weren't doing so well and replaced them all with very beautiful Princeton American elms. Now, as far as what's going on in the gardening world this week, I noticed at home my dogwood, for the first time, has powdery mildew. Has it all over the tree. So that powdery mildew is somewhat common on plants like dogwood, especially lilacs. Garden peonies can get it too. There really isn't much you should do at this point. No spraying required. It's just aesthetics. The plant should be okay. What I do suggest you to do is rake up all those leaves in the fall and destroy them. And another big question this week is about Japanese beetles. They are out in full force. Everyone keeps calling, emailing, hey, what do I do? Do you have beetle bags? We do not have Japanese beetle bags. I'm a little iffy on them either way. They do tend to bring in more beetles into your yard, but it also captures the beetles so that they cannot then lay eggs in your yard. But the pheromone and the lure in the bag does bring more beetles to your yard, so we don't suggest those. We do have other insecticides to use. 8 is a great choice for beetles. But if you do have just a few beetles here and there, we do suggest just to pick them off by your hands, place them in a tub of soapy water that will get rid of them. Be very careful when using insecticides on blooming plants, because these insecticides that will harm the beetles will also harm the pollinators. Then one more timely to-do for July are those mums. It's time to cut them back for the last time. Mid-July is the great time for that. This will help improve the branching structure and it will delay the bloom more into fall. And speaking of mums, we just brought out our 1.5-gallon homegrown Igloo mums. They are $7.99. If you buy 3 or more, they're only $6.99 each, and now is a great time to get them in the yard. Now talking produce, we are fully stocked for this weekend. We have that Ohio sweet corn, Ohio tomatoes, and Georgia peaches for the first time this year. We got in a couple of cases of these cherries. Now I had to increase the price to $4.99 a pound, but they are well worth it. Both me and my coworker Max ate a couple yesterday and they are ideal. They have perfect flavor. And you may have noticed in the email newsletter this week, I talked about pluots. This is a combination of an apricot and a plum. They're not quite ripe yet, but I did try one yesterday. It's definitely plum-like. I am not a fan of plums. I'll take a peach any day. Plums just aren't my thing, but these did have good flavor. Not quite as sweet as I thought they'd be, but they're not, fully ripened yet or soft. But then they had this little afterbite. It's really hard to describe, but you gotta try one for yourself. So in my email newsletter today, if you do receive that, you'll see I talked about sweet potatoes. This is definitely one of my favorite veggies. They are high in fiber, vitamins, minerals, beta carotene. They are very easy to cook. A lot of times I'll just clean it off, put some oil around it, and put it in my air fryer for 20 or 30 minutes just to have a baked sweet potato. In that email newsletter, I also shared one of my favorite recipes for like a smashed sweet potato, very easy to make. And in that email newsletter, you might have received a coupon for one of these. So if you do not get our email newsletters, I would highly suggest it. Hop over to our DaytonNursery.com and sign up. And on the other end of the spectrum, the non-healthy foods, but the delicious foods, we have quite a lot of Troyer's baked goods in stock. You guys have been buying them like crazy, probably because they're delicious. We have the 9-inch pies, the mini pies, angel food cake, brownies, very popular pumpkin bars, and tons of cookies. So those arrived fresh just yesterday. So you may have heard in the news this week that we are now under a mask mandate for Summit County. Dayton Nursery is here in Summit County, so all customers and staff as well, of course, are required to wear masks when you shop. Okay, so that's it for this week. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you all this weekend. Okay, bye-bye.